2 years after a forest fire swept through here, we've got some signs of growth down on the forest ground here, with some small shrubs and things starting to grow. On this side of the road you can see the fire never made it, so it's thick with undergrowth and lots of downed trees in there. So this side of the road, they stopped it at the road here. I'll just pan through, do your 360, and then you can see 2 years, about 2 years after the forest fire came through here, and the side that never made it across. The Pine Barrens are unique in that respect. The only time these pine cones will open to let the seeds out is during a fire. I believe it's one of the only ecosystems in the world that actually requires fire in that respect to regrow itself. So the forest is unique in that respect. So it's definitely worth a visit to the Pine Barrens just to see this area for yourself, and get a feel for the over 500 square miles of forests that are protected by the state. Hey dog! Willow. Oh. You found something to sniff? Eh? So much rain has fallen in New Jersey over the past 12 months. I think over 69 inches of rain in 2018. A lot of the roads in the Pine Barrens now look like this. Yes, they are now rivers with running water. Hey pup! Nice place to get a drink. So this was a road, or trail, and now it's turned out to be quite the opposite. It's now a shallow riverbed. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of this in the future with climate change. And the downside is a lot of the water that's now building up in the Caphanassie aquifer is starting to flood out like this and flood areas that wouldn't normally be underwater, so to speak. The problem is it's killing a lot of the native plants, like the white cedars, like the Atlantic white cedar, whose areas are getting flooded out now, and it's killing the root systems off. You know, it doesn't help that we have, hate to say this, our little furry beaver friends damming things up as well, making it significantly more difficult for certain plants to survive. But yeah, this was a trail or a road, now river. I think what we'll do here, because this is just getting ridiculous walking up this water here, there's a trail that cuts across here. I think we'll just take the bike trail. As you can see, it seems an awful lot drier through those woods, so I think that's what we'll do. Willow, come on. Oi, come. Come, pup. Good girl. Back further down the trail. Oh, it's turning out to be quite a long one, this. Still getting pockets of grasses coming through. But the general sense that the forest is picking up, the signs of life everywhere in here. So it's kind of cool to see it all the way around. The oak trees don't fare too well, obviously, in forest fire, but the pines are going to be really the trees that will actually thrive and flourish in this environment. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Dog's over there. I think there she is. Coming up a little rise here. Have a look down into this little low basin area in the pines, which is kind of neat. Mile upon mile of charred forest. Oi! spot you. She's over there. Whether you can see her, see if I can zoom in. Hunt the doggy. Where is she? There she is. She's blending in. Oh, lost her. She's around there. When she tucks herself in, she's difficult to spot. There she is, right there. There she is. That's the doggy. Little bugger. So we're on the trail still following the trail. Dog's enjoying herself, but what I noticed is in the forest fire here, the remains of an old deer stand. Somebody obviously had an old deer stand here, and half of it is on the ground, but don't think there's anything left of it anymore. It's charred to beyond buggery here. Took quite a bad fire front through this place. These trees are really charred. Not too bad over that way, but over this way, pretty bad. And I don't know why my light is on, it's quite strange. So we're a bit further along the trail, and you can tell they've had some real heavy fire damage here. Literally all the way up to the tops pretty much is been on fire. But then you get these really cool areas, just patches of greenery that have started to thrive with the lack of the lower canopy, which is kind of cool. You know, you go from this, you know, burnt twigs and other low canopy stuff over to this, which is kind of neat. You know, the grass is starting to grow in abundance throughout these woods now, which is kind of cool. Let me just zoom back out there. But yeah, it's kind of neat to see it. Very, very quiet. Nobody out here today. Although there is a fresh bike track, so if somebody has been through here with a fat bike sometime today, because it was raining earlier, it would have washed the tracks away. So these are definitely fresh today. So somebody's definitely been through already, which is kind of cool. Folks are making the most out of these trails, which is brilliant. Hey doggy. Okay, I'm on this bike trail. Not quite sure where I am. And got a really helpful sign here. 5.5 miles that way, or 13.8 miles that way. That way. We're still in the burnt air of the Pine Barrens. Or that way. Do I take the long route or do I take the short route? It's around 5 o'clock. Going to be dark at 7. So I think I'm probably going to take the easier way out here. And I'm going to go this route. Because the dog is already ahead of me. And she's making up her own mind where she's going. Willow. Oh, I see you. Hiding. There you are. What have you spotted? Oh dear. Looks like we're on a little bit of a rise here, so we can look up and down a bit. Go a little bit higher. What's that? Hey? Be careful. Who's there? Well, okay. What have you got? What you step on? Easy. Deer have hooves, you have paws, and they can be poked through. I keep hearing a truck in the background. So the road is not far away. He's over there somewhere. Although the trail's taking me this direction, completely the opposite. Wow. This was incredibly hot, this fire. See how much it's charred and how high the flames went. I do hear a vehicle over there. There's the puppy. She's hiding. Willow. Oi. Yep. Keeping an eye. Particular juicy area. This is crazy how this is burnt. Look at this. Yeah. Ash and soot everywhere. What have you spotted, pup? Is there something over there? What have you spotted? Fire was definitely high around here. But I spotted something too then, sitting on a log over there. Not sure what that was. Helps to, if you are hiking, it helps to carry a small pair of binoculars with you, because sometimes you spot things in the woods and it can be really weird looking and you think, what the hell is that? And then you walk towards it and after 5 minutes you get there, you're realising, oh crap, it's a piece of tree, or it's a bush, or it's a, you know, an old bag that's stuck in the trees somehow that makes it look like some strange animal. So it's amazing how things can look completely different from a distance in the woods. I do hear vehicles in the background. I can't be far from that road I was mentioning earlier. Zoom in on him, look, he's back up. The dog's no longer a threat. So he's going to go on his way. See him? There he is. He's not quite sure if the dog's going to come back, but he's probably going to go to those bushes in a second. There There he goes. He'll be on his way in a minute. Alright, let's leave him be. Further down the trail, you get a few stunted oaks like this that are a bit brittle and showing signs of definitely fire as well as rot. I mean, a lot of this tree is dying. It's broken. It's got a lot of mould on it. It will produce a couple of acorns if it's within age. Certainly produces some leaves. It's kind of neat. That's the way we came from. We'll carry on walking down this way until I find another useless sign, and then we'll see how far we are. Hey dog. Good girl. When I'm walking, I usually keep about 4 miles an hour is my pace. I try and do a larger stride and roll through it, just so I can keep some speed up and give me a good mileage distance over a given period of time. Sorry, my phone isn't using a gimbal at all. It's just between my two fingers. We are expected to get some more rain this evening, which is really not what we need. Like I said earlier, New Jersey's received over 69 inches of rain this year, and I think more is to be expected. Oh, looks like we're coming to an open area over here. Yeah, it looks like the forest is thinning out a little bit. Some signs of woodcuts over on that side. The dog's about 25 yards ahead of me, keeping an eye on the trail. She's my little trail sentinel. She keeps an eye out of people or vehicles or bicycles coming towards me. What have you got there, pup? Yeah, the forest is definitely opening up here. Looks like an old road that used to pass through the woods here. See that? Doesn't look like an old road, doesn't it? But it's still very quiet. I think the actual main road that runs through this section of the Pine Barrens is about half a mile over that direction. So we're going to head towards that, and then I think what we'll do is head down the road back to where we parked. And hopefully I've got the directions right, and I'm not 13.5 miles from the vehicle. But yeah, just giving a zoom around. Bit of a rise, we came up that hill. Come from that direction, and again, thousands of acres of burn. Looks like we've already got a lot of young oak growth here, you know, which is interesting. Didn't take long for these to sprout up, did it? Leftover oak trees in the bushes. Definitely hear a four-wheel drive now. He's past us. Or we've gone the wrong direction. One or the other. Yeah, look at the way the fire has burnt the bark off these trees. Absolutely devastated the bark. Look at this. Devastated it. I think this tree is done. Most of its bark has peeled off, as with some of the other bigger trees around here. See this? The bark on the pine tree is a little bit like a scale. When they shed their scales, but it doesn't get in. As an example, Willow, I'll pull a little bit of this off, you'll see that. Oh no, nothing's coming off. You'll see that right underneath it, it's actually pretty good. This tree that was alive, I don't believe will survive because of the charring. The bark is done now. Yep. Yeah, the bark is done on that one. Road. What's this? New Jersey Bike Association. Alright, we've got to a road. Finally. Okay. So we're not going that route. Well, that's an interesting one. The sign back down there said no bicycles. This is actually saying no e-bikes, which is interesting because I don't know what's different on this trail from the one that we were on over there. Well, we're not going this way, we're going to go down the road. Come on, Pop. We've got miles to walk and it's starting to get dark. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Alright. Now the clocks have basically gone back to normal. It starts to get dark here on the east coast at 7 o'clock. We should say sunset is at 7 PM. So although I've got an hour less in bed, we've got more light in the evening, which I vastly prefer over the daylight savings time of the winter. So what the state really needs to do is take a stand and give us back our nighttime hours. I much prefer it being lighter later rather than lighter earlier. Votes in the comment sections below. I know the dog would appreciate it.